Yeah, you're not kidding, dude. Hey everyone, welcome back to JarDev. Today I'm taking a look at the Code Vein network test. If you haven't heard of Code Vein, it's basically like anime Dark Souls. So we're going to speed through the character customization right at the start of this video. I recorded just over an hour of footage, and I cut out all the cutscenes and cut out a little bit of boring stuff, sped up the character creation. So that's how we're getting this nice short video. The cutscenes were probably about half an hour of that hour. But anyway, here you can see that the character creation is pretty detailed. The character models all look really nice. All the clothes look really cool. There's so many options. Like, the accessories are amazing. Like, that is such a nice hat. He's so pretty. There's glasses, there's necklaces, there's like things you can wear on your shoulders. Whenever I make a character, I always try and come up with a name after I've made their appearance. So this one I was like, okay, we'll start out. And he quickly turned into a bit of an edgelord. You know, he's got a rose, he's got a coffin, he's got a skull face paint. I just tried to make him look as edgy as possible. Tried to get a nice edgy voice. There, he's beautiful. So of course we'll name him Edgy McEdgelord in a similar stance to, or similar manner to Boaty McBoatface.
Yeah, that's what you look like.
It is. Okay, so this is the combat tutorial. Basically, there's 3 classes in the game. There's like a warrior, a ranger, and a mage. So this is teaching me the warrior kind of fighting style. You can see quite similar to Dark Souls, you lock on and everything. I actually rebound the controls. Originally, the light attack was on square, I think it was, or triangle. No, it was on square, so I changed it to R1 to be more like Dark Souls. So this is holding X to do the drain attack, which will give you more like mana for all intents and purposes. It gives you more of the bottom number there, the 18. So this is me swinging around with a bayonet. I believe the heavy attack actually shoots. Oh well, there's a backstab. Perfect. And this here is the mage tutorial. The magic is really powerful. But you can see it uses a lot of the mana down in the bottom right. Okay, so now we're into the first level after skipping about 20 minutes straight of cutscenes. There was a ton of cutscenes. So we start off with just this sad, pathetic little pipe. And I quickly found out that backstabbing's really, really hard. Sometimes it works, and sometimes it just doesn't. We're also being accompanied by Oliver, who's pretty neat. He's a nice little AI to have with us. Just swinging around this pipe here, it's perfect. Obviously in the bottom left your UI, you've got your health, there's the big blood pool there. Above that you've got your stamina bar. And above that is the 3 healing items, which do replenish when you rest at a bonfire or a missile. That's just teaching me about that. Also, not like Dark Souls, you got a mini-map in the top right. Still trying to land that backstab? Nope. You've got to be right behind him, but it's not working. Wee. We've also got loot boxes. Not really loot boxes, just chests. So I get to replace my pipe with a nice heavy axe, which will be way better. I decided to stick with the warrior style of play, but as soon as you load into the first level, you can actually change to any of the 3 if you want. You pick up at the bayonet a bit later in this tutorial area. A bit of an ambush here. So that's the charged heavy attack, which works quite well on these guys because you kind of stun them. You like break their poise. But on some bigger enemies, it just kind of locks you into a long animation, and then you kind of just get bullied a little bit. There you go, that's telling us a bit like, you know, just like Souls, which is the very bottom left number there. If you die, you have to go find your bloodstain and pick up your souls. Okay, now watch the frame rate here. Holy shit, that's like 10 FPS there. And that happens every time you break a boss. I was playing this on PS4. The network test was only on PS4 and Xbox One. I swear this game is coming out on Steam, but there's no store page. I can't find anywhere to like pre-order it, like just to double check that it is available on PC. So I'm really hoping it's not a console exclusive, because I do actually want to play this. But the PS4 performance is pretty poor. You might have noticed when we first loaded into the level there was a lot of lag. And yeah, every single time you break a box, it goes down to like 15 FPS. So yeah, it better be coming out on PC. Because it feels very fun, actually. The combat feels very fluid, the rolling's quite satisfying. So we're going to just skip ahead a little bit here. This is where I get a shortcut back to the original Mistel. And we can have a look at the leveling up. So unlike Dark Souls, you just level up. You don't have to choose a stat to level, you just kind of level everything, which is kind of neat. Okay, still trying to teach us about backstabs. Doesn't really work most of the time. I really try on this guy, and this guy's pretty spooky. He's like a big mole man, a big floppy anteater nose. Okay, we'll just beat him up with our hammer or our axe. There's the lag again. Every single time you hit a box, like no matter how many boxes there are. I'm gonna try and backstab this guy, even though this guy to the left has seen us. Yeah, their backswings are, they're pretty strong. Most enemies can smack you with that backswing. So I think presumably you probably want to roll like round to the left of most enemies, because their backswing ends on their right, if that makes sense. Also realized with these guys that just 3 light attacks with my axe would kill them. Yep, I had to pan the camera around to make sure it was lagging. It sure was. God, this is the classic Dark Souls slime trap. And they are beating me up. More enemies are here. It's time to do the old method of just running. And run is on square instead of being on the same button as dodge. And I couldn't rebind that because square is like a different button, which was really annoying. Hopefully there'll be more rebindable options in the full game. Obviously, like the network test was just the prologue and multiplayer. I didn't even check out the multiplayer, I just wanted to mess around in the prologue. So here we get the Queenslayer blade, which is the same one I was using in the tutorial earlier. And I decided to go ahead and use that instead of the hammer, just because it's like a little bit faster. I can do like 5 or 6 attacks without like using all of my stamina, whereas the axe I could use just 3 attacks. It's another trap. It's another big mole anteater man. But you can see like the iframes are pretty decent, just like Dark Souls. So if you're familiar with Dark Souls, it's quite easy to get into this. So my hat does kind of obscure a lot of cutscenes. Like half the cutscenes, like you won't be able to see my face at all because of my giant hat. But that's on me for choosing a huge hat. Although I guess don't make it a choice if it's gonna like obscure everything. Okay, so this is going to take us to the first boss of the game. I just wanted to cut out all the cutscenes just to show off the gameplay. There we go. That's right, it's our friend from earlier in the video. It's Oliver. Slight spoiler there. And just a random guy is helping us in this. And he's actually a very good tutorial boss, especially because you get a friend with you to help, which is pretty cool. He's got like magic as well, which is awesome. Yeah, Oliver hits pretty hard. Okay, and here we go. Phase 2, he turns into like a giant pig man or something. Ow. And he hits like a truck. So yeah, I'm now down to 1 healing thing. But we've got him at under half health. Just gotta learn his attack patterns, you know, and look out for those massive swings. And the backswing. Oof. Poor stranger's just getting bullied over there. Oh, look at his health. So yeah, that attack caught me by surprise a little bit. So I'm out of healing. This time I was able to dodge it, so you can definitely learn boss attacks just like in Souls games. But then he just bullied me. And that was my first death. It was like 45 minutes into the game. First death. Not bad. And then back in our second try, managed to keep the stranger alive a long time. I used all of my healing, like by about halfway through the fight, so I thought we were gonna wipe on this one. But it was pretty helpful having the stranger because he could take aggro a lot. And then eventually we just go in and we smack him up. Hooray. And that was it. That was the prologue basically with the first boss. Unfortunately, no, that jukebox does not do anything. But this is like our home base with a bunch of characters and stuff around here. So it's pretty promising. The gameplay is very fun. I think the character design and the outfits are all really good. But a lot of the graphics are really terrible. Like in some of the cutscenes, like in the first cutscene you start in a city and the buildings just look straight out of like a PS3 game, like a last gen game, which is pretty surprising. Like I don't want to say it, but like it really just looks like a console game. Like it looks very much like Nier Automata, which is just not a pretty game. It's got very outdated graphics. But like I said, like the characters are really pretty good, and the outfits are all really good graphics wise. But it's just a lot of like the buildings and like rubble and stuff, and like the very start of the video you saw, just really low res textures on stuff. But that's really about it. Hopefully there'll be like an HD texture pack you can get for PC to make it look a bit better. It really better be coming out on PC. But anyway, that was the network test gameplay with the first boss. That was Code Vein. Thank you guys very much for watching. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!